Ladies and gents, welcome back. Let's not forget that words matter and words are important. And when you say certain words, well, some people will never forget the words and the rhetoric that you use. Now, this is in response to a tweet that I put out that actually garnered a giant response. And this was a quote: "The unvaccinated are taking up space." Justin Trudeau. And whoa, boy, did that get a response from the people on Twitter. And I just want to highlight some of the response that I got here. And this was from a lot of people throwing out stuff here. The unvaccinated are taking up space, Justin Trudeau. And Greek Cat here saying he said more than that. And here's a video of the actual quote and what he was saying.
C'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays. Est-ce qu'on...
So a lot of you are probably not French speakers. Some of you, I'm sure, are. But for those of you, for everyone who is not a French speaker, let's just go to what he actually did say in that quote. So this was on a television program in Quebec. I believe it's Channel 4, Julie something. Anyway, he was on television in speaking in French, saying this, and the translated quote here was in the Western Standard here. "We are going to end this pandemic by proceeding with the vaccination. There is still a part of the population fiercely against it. They don't believe in science or progress and are very often misogynistic and racist. They take up some space. This leads us as a leader, as a country, to make a choice. Do we tolerate these people?" And you can't walk back that kind of rhetoric. And in fact, it was Bill Maher on his show on HBO, George Orwell here on Twitter, posting this in response to my tweet, showing that Bill Maher even brought this to light when he was discussing this with his panel back during the time of the Freedom Convoy in Canada. And, well, here are his words.
I started to read what he said. This is a couple of weeks ago. He was, or maybe this is September, but he was talking about people who are not vaccinated. He said they don't believe in science. They're often misogynistic, often racist. No, they're not.
That was not smart of him at all.
Right. He said, but they take up space. And with that, we have to make a choice in terms of a leader as a country. Do we tolerate these people? It's like, tolerate them. Now you do sound like Hitler.
No, that was...
And recently he talked about them holding unacceptable views.
Wow. I'm surprised to hear that Trudeau said those things.
You didn't see the blackface? I mean, no, I'm kidding about that. I'm not. I mean, that was not a good look for him.
No, that's bad.
But I mean, come on. I mean, that's, I think, what gets under people's skin. I started to read.
Absolutely gets under people's skin. And this is the hateful sort of rhetoric that we've heard from, well, he says now he even sounds like Hitler. And this is, it's not a game posting this as well. When you find your old policies are making a comeback, that's the face you have and the stupid haircut possibly. But also here, Billy Gibbons, sorry. All these measures have been taken, though Warschauer Zeitung explains, to avoid any possible danger to the health of the non-Jewish population by coming in contact with Jews. Now, this is an interesting article. And lest we not forget, like, this is the type of rhetoric that was being used at a different time. And here we have from the Jewish Telegraph Agency, established in 1917, keeping a archive of articles like this with this hateful rhetoric. Here's a particular article where typhoid is endemic Jewish disease, says Nazis say in issuing Warsaw Ghetto Rules. This is January 8th, 1941. New traffic regulations for Warsaw Street cars and buses are announced in the Warschauer Zeitung. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. Nazi organ in Poland. Streetcars and buses marked by Aryans only may no longer stop to take on or discharge passengers in the Jewish reservations of the city. Streetcars and buses marked Jews only may no longer make any stops in the non-Jewish sections of the city, where it is necessary for the streetcars or buses of either category to stop in the heavily guarded boundaries of the Jewish reservations. Special double platforms have been constructed, one for Jews and one for Gentiles. Jewish streetcars or buses must be emptied of Jewish passengers before they emerge from a Jewish reservation into a non-Jewish district. All of these measures have been taken, the Warschauer Zeitung explains, to avoid any possible danger to the health of the non-Jewish population by coming in contact with Jews. As the same newspaper recently explained, announcing the introduction of the special Jewish streetcars and buses, Jews have been founded by the Nazi authorities to be typhus carriers. The paper added, has been founded to be endemic among members of the Jewish race. Jews have been forbidden to enter the central post office of Krakow, according to the Zeitung. The only post office they will be permitted to enter in the future is branch number 14 in the suburb of Prodgorsk. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, but just showing the hateful rhetoric that came out of these people at the time, and absolutely unscientific. They had the proper technology to understand that particular people wouldn't be carrying this stuff. So this isn't scientific. It's hateful. It's absolutely hateful. And so is the rhetoric coming from, well, this man. And here's a moment, and this is posted by Joe on Twitter as well, showing just how awful the rhetoric is, especially when he's trying to talk about the other side, but it's this massive projection, this confession by projection of what exactly he was doing. And you watch, it slips in here when he talks about how it worked for him for the 2015 election.
Attack politics, divisive politics, negative, stirring up of hate and fear and differences. The dirty secret is they work. Mm-hmm. Even back in 2015, they work to get you elected.
Sure, yeah.
You can do that. You can mobilize and get elected. It's just what we're seeing is that once you've used those methods to get elected, it becomes incredibly hard to govern responsibly for all citizens in bringing people together and getting big things done. Because once you start, churning up anger, it just feeds on itself. And if you're not continually throwing fresh raw meat at it,
right.
It will get away from you entirely. Yeah. And that's where we're seeing in Canada a certain number of people who stirred up that starting to have it sort of turn back against them a little bit.
I want to pull this thread a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely turning against you, Justin Trudeau, especially when we look at, well, approval ratings. And his approval ratings are what? 7% at the moment. It's just absolutely horrendous. And, well, this is going to be his legacy. And it is as well the legacy of his father, because someone else posted this one. And this is a really good one. Breakingnews.ca on Twitter, food for thought via breakingnews.ca. A bumper sticker, not from 2021, but from 1971. And the bumper sticker on this automobile reads, Western Canada concept, let the East have Trudeau, let the West have freedom. So even back then, they saw the Trudeau legacy as one of not a legacy of freedom, but a legacy of sowing division and hatred and pitting people against each other. And like I said, lest we forget what happens when you have that type of rhetoric, it's not working out well for Canadians. And, we can see it. We can see it online when you you come in contact with a particular type of people on the far left. And I'm not talking about people who might be center left, because I think people who are center left have great ideas, and maybe people on the right will disagree with them, but it's just, these are just disagreements that people have, and they don't turn into vitriol. I'm talking about the crazy people on the far left, the ones that have syringes in their bio and masked up emojis in their bio, absolutely vitriolic online and treating people like absolute garbage, and reminiscent of a darker time in our history. Definitely reminiscent of that. But hey, a little food for thought. I just put that quote out there, just saying, hey, here's a quote of a government official in our country, and well, yeah, got a lot of response from people. Here's another one just for the road. Here's one more quote for you just before I take off on this video. But here's one. Canadians don't have an absolute right to own private property. David Lametti, Justice Minister of Canada under Trudeau 2022. These are the words of the people who believe themselves to be leaders in our country, elected officials who are not representing the will of the people. Anyway, that's all I got for you this morning. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on the video. It helps the algorithm. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video. Keep on trucking.